Happy Independence, everybody. As you guys know, today is the Independence Day in Nigeria, and everybody's happy. This video is just all about my wishes for Nigeria, what I wish Nigeria have, or what I wish Nigeria to become. So just gonna try to make this video not too long, but please make sure you watch to the end so you really enjoy this video. Thank you so much for coming. If you're an old subscribers, and if you're new to my channel, make sure to click on that subscribe button. Yeah, here we go. So I got those wishes really listed down because these are things that I've always wished Nigerian to be, not just because I want to make the video, but those are the wishes of my heart that I've got listed down in my book. Like those of you that are used to me, I have my my book. My book is always with me even when I'm live streaming. My book is always with me when I want to make videos. I make sure to list them out. I take my time to think about what I want to do, what I want to talk about, and all those stuff. So you're gonna pardon me sometimes when I have to look into my book. So let's get into this. I wish a Nigerian where we can patronize Nigerian goods and services and all those stuff. Like, in Nigeria, how it is sometimes. Most of the things we use in Nigeria are being imported from other countries, from Europe and some neighboring African country. But I wish there would be a time in Nigeria where we can appreciate ourselves, appreciate things we do. Sometimes especially when I was in Nigeria, there are some shoes that people from the eastern part of Nigeria used to make. People just look down on those stuff and say, wow, this is Aba made, and this is, Italy made, this is this is China made, this is France made, this is German made, and they prefer to go for all those, imported goods and services, like in terms of shoes, in terms of clothes, in terms of anything you can just think of in Nigeria. And by the, by the time we go to the point where we can start purchasing our goods and services within Nigeria, we help Nigeria grow more better. For example, if I am a tailor and I produce or I sew clothes and all this stuff, and people in my country really patronize from me, they don't go outside to buy stuff. I tend to sell more and make more income, and by doing this we're going to reduce the crime rate in Nigeria, because people will start thinking of ideas of things to do, since we now know, okay, all the things, if you can bring up good ideas to make good things, people are going to patronize you. So we get into the second point. I wish for a Nigeria where we can have a young president. Like, since I have been in existence, like since my mom have really give birth to me, I haven't really seen Nigeria have a young president, or we have a old president like old cargos. I just wish to see someone really young sit on that place with a young fresh brain, and let's see how it's gonna be. I also wish for a Nigeria where we're gonna have a female president, like where they're gonna appreciate women to the extent that we can also contest to be president. Just my wish, and I pray it comes to pass. So the third thing on my list today is I wish for a Nigeria where we can have constant power supply. Like if you're a Nigerian, you would understand what I'm talking about. And even if you're not a Nigerian and you've been to Nigeria before, you would understand what I'm talking about. Like there's just some places that are limited to goods power supply. There's some places in the state, like in Lagos, there's some places where, like in Lekki, in some places in Aja, some places in the island, the mainland, there's some places there that they have constant power supply. But some places like Ikorodu, Odonguyon, Ijora, Bariga. Yeah, Bariga is somewhere like in the outskirts. I've been away from Nigeria for a long time. I'm just trying to remember these places. Ketu, Ikotun, Ikeja, all those places. Like sometimes one full month they don't have light. Really, this is really disturbing. Like when there's no light, how would things work on well in Nigeria? For example, when there's unlimited power supply, people who are weather, who deal with steel and all the stuff, they have enough power supply to make their products. For those who are tailor, sometimes you need the iron to make some things on your customers clothes. There's no light, you need to like buy fuel, use the generator and all those stuff. I just wish we can have current power supply, and it's going to make so I wish for a Nigeria with free healthcare supply. Like, seriously, I know in some parts of Nigeria and maybe mostly in all states, they have free healthcare center and all the stuff, general hospitals and all the stuff. But in the part of Lagos where I live, I still know about the general hospital in Ikorodu precisely. I know these things are free. I know, yes, the government cannot do everything for you. Sometimes you need to do some things for yourself. But when something is free, I think it should really be free because at the end of the day, you see women who are pregnant, they're still going to tell them, okay, you should be the one buying the instrument they're going to use for you. Like, to me, I think this is funny. You're going to buy the instrument that's going to be used for you, the injections you're going to collect, the everything, as in things that they're going to administer for you. You will be the one to still buy those things. Then the I think the government is only paying for the building and paying the doctors and the nurses and all the stuff. But in some cases, some people really still don't have money to get those things. So when you don't have money to get those things, does it mean you are not going to receive treatment or something? So to me, I think this is not really free. So I just wish for a Nigeria where we can have really free healthcare supply, real free, because and I think in Nigeria there's still some things they need to do about the healthcare. A friend of mine, she's also a YouTuber. A friend of mine was talking to me some time ago. She's a Nigerian YouTuber. She was like, I was so sick and I had to do operation. I had to undergo an operation or something, and they told me there's a long list for people who wants to do operation, and for each week we have limited amount of people we can attend to. Can you imagine someone who comes in as an emergency and the person have to be admitted and have to wait for their turn? Like, I think government still need to do some things about this. But at the end of the day, when the person dies, what's going to happen? We should have sympathy for humans. We are all humans. It shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't be limited. Like, it's limited. We have to, only do surgeries for 10 people in 1 week or 5 people in 1 week and all this stuff. Really, I don't know why this is happening, but I just wish we have like good healthcare supply. I wish for a Nigeria where education can, they can really take education serious. I know, especially in Lagos State, I talk really more about Lagos State because I know more about Lagos State. I don't really know much about other states, and I don't want to talk about what I don't know about. In Lagos State, they've actually stopped that child abuse where you see children in the street hawking. Adults are not really allowed to walk in the street again because it is dangerous, so I wish they can still like really put more pressure on that to really stop this, especially in the rural areas, because in those big cities sometimes you see, but you hardly see children walking. Like, any child who is not up to 18 years should be in school. Like, government should really take this serious, and Nigeria is going to be a better place. I think yes, formal education is important, but also this education is so important. There's still so many illiterate in the street of Lagos, roaming about. I know education is not all about, going to school, just pass through school, but education is all about, the school passing through you. But at least it's nice, to just know how to read and write, how to communicate in case. Oh, the third on my list today, I wish Nigeria that is free from lottering debt all over the place and all the stuff. I've lived in Lagos all my life, so I've also gone to some states like for visit. I've been to Bomosho, I've been to Abuja, I've been to Edo State, like I'm from Edo State, I've been to Delta State, I've been to Ibadan. So I've been to some places like for visit, I've been to Ogun State too. I literally live in Ogun State too for some time. And really, there are so many places in Nigeria that are so really dirty. I know there are places in Nigeria that are really clean, but I'm saying this not because I want to spoil Nigeria. Actually, I'm a Nigerian, if you don't know, but I'm saying this for people to know the change is going to start from you and me. When we start to have that sense of reasoning that, okay, I'm not a baby, like when I eat something, when I have to even eat something on the road, I don't have to litter it on the floor. You can just put this in your bag or get a nylon or something and tie this in it, and when you get to your house, you dispose it or something. You don't have to litter the buses. Like, even in the buses, you see people, they eat in the bus and they dump the refuge in the bus. And at the point in time, you see these bus drivers or the conductor or something, at the end of the day, they have to, they just sweep the thing out and sweep it in the garage. So this is really so, it's not something I'm happy about. And I hope somebody in the authority is going to watch this video and make some amendment. I think now we are getting civilized. This is another age to Nigeria, and I think, in some places, like places where people have to walk through and all those stuff, the bus stop, all those places, the garage and all those stuff where people go to board buses that are going to long distance. I hope the government can make a bin, from like maybe within 1 kilometer or in between, put bin basket and all those stuff around, so people can really see places to drop their things, and not necessarily drop it on the floor. So we're gonna move to the next thing. I wish in Nigerian that we have a good drainage supply and good roads. Like this is so serious, and it's something that I've been really worried about. Like in Nigeria, there are not really good roads. There are some places in Nigeria where there are good roads, and there's some places that are really bad road. And some of those roads are really federal roads, and some roads are state roads. Some roads are like really so bad. And when you want to go to work, you have to wake up really early. Even if you have your car or you want to go on public transport, you have to really wake up early because you don't want to deal with that. So the next on my list, I wish in Nigeria to have a trusted police reliable service. Like if you see all over the internet, you're gonna hear like police did this, police did that. I know it is not only Nigeria that are facing this problem. Even in some part of Europe, yes, believe me, in some part of Europe, you see policemen that, really some kind of things happen. Sometimes, not really every time, sometimes. But in Nigeria, it is really so worse. Like, you can't even trust the police. When the thief comes to your house to thief you or to steal something from you, you feel like, okay, I'd better be here and, carry my cross than go to the police. They're going to be asking you unnecessary things. They're going to be in short, you would even go to the police to say, okay, please, I'm having issues with somebody, and I think I come to order for the person's arrest, and the police will be telling you to bring money, like go and bring money for them to buy fuel in their car before they can come and arrest somebody. Like, this is really serious. So I wish for a Nigeria where we can really have, good police reliable service. So this brings me to my next point. I wish for a Nigeria that is free from road jam. Like, hold up. You guys don't really want to think about this. You don't want to deal with this. Like in Nigeria, I know Nigeria is really populated, but this brings me back to what I've talked about earlier on. I wish Nigeria have really good roads, because when the roads are good, you don't have to go into pothole. You don't have to, when the roads are just good, people just travel freely and so cool. I know Lagos State is trying. Excuse me, you can see most of the time I'm talking about Lagos State because that is where I was born and that is where I grew up. So I know really more about Lagos State than other states. So I don't want to talk about what I don't know. I know Lagos State is trying now, especially for the part of the road. They've really redesigned the road. Before, when you see Ikorodu Road, like, you wouldn't even want to live in Ikorodu. But now when you see the road really so good, the zebra crossing and all those stuff, the traffic lights and everywhere look really so beautiful. That is why I love Lagos, because Lagos is the mega city. Like, I love every part of Nigeria because, they are so friendly and everything in Nigeria is going on well, apart from the little underground crisis that we are having and all those stuff. And I wish everything is going to be settled as soon as possible. So I think when there's good road, there's not going to be too much hold up, like too much traffic on the road. Like, literally, you want to go to a place that is within 1 kilometer or maybe 2-3 kilometer, and you have to stay like 3 hours. Sometimes you have to stay at one point for like 3 hours. I'm not joking about this, because of traffic. One point, your car isn't moving, you can't move, you can't, just to sit down there is really so heartbreaking, and this is really not nice. Okay, this brings me to my next point. I wish for a Nigeria that is free of corruption. Like, I know everywhere in the world is corrupted, really. Everywhere in the world is corrupted, but Nigeria is really so corrupted. I know all Nigerians, not all Nigerians are corrupt, but the corruption starts from the head. Like, even in the Bible says, when the judgment day shall come, It's gonna start from the altar. So the corruption starts from up, down to the citizens, the people in power. Many of them are corrupt. I'm not mentioning names, and the citizens too are also corrupt. I wish for a Nigeria where corruption can just reduce, where everybody can live in peace, where everybody will not live in fear. Like, even me, I'm a Nigerian, but I love my country. It's my country, it's my own place. I think at a point in time, no matter how you live in the diaspora, one day you want to say, okay, let me just go visit my country. But you don't want to have those memories of fear in you, and you'll be like, wow, if I go to Nigeria now, are they not going to come and, is something not going to happen? What's going to, all this kind of stuff. But it's still my country. I can't run away from it. I wish for a Nigeria where 1 euro can be equal to 1 naira. Some people can feel like this girl is crazy. What's she talking about? Really, things are so expensive in Nigeria. Things are really so expensive in Nigeria. It's expensive to live in Nigeria, I tell you. If you live in Nigeria, it's expensive. When you go for visit because you live abroad, you can just think of the exchange rate from 1 euro to 1 naira, or for $1 to 1 naira, and you want to go to Nigeria, taking maybe some dollars with you or some euro with you. You can feel like, wow, this is so cheap. This is really so nice. Things in Nigeria are cheap, yes. But for people living in Nigeria, like, things are really, really so hard, and it's not so easy. So I just wish for a Nigeria where, everything can be fine, everything can, we can love each other, not thinking of the ethnic group and all the stuff. I wish for a Nigeria that people can start talking about Nigeria. In the past, when people talk about Nigeria, you as a Nigerian, you're just gonna be like, wow, you're just gonna be blushing, you're just gonna be happy. But things have really changed over the years, and now when some people are even ashamed to say they're Nigerian, this is the reality, and this is the truth. Some people wouldn't even want you to know that they're Nigerian, not because they are bad, but because so many Nigerians now, you hear Nigerians doing prostitution, you hear Nigerians stealing, you hear Nigerians dealing in drugs. Not as if it is only Nigerians that are doing these things, but I think my own thinking, my own honest thought about the whole thing. But I think Nigeria is just such a popular country, the giant of Africa, that people really know about Nigeria all over the world. So the name Nigeria is always ringing a bell. So when a Nigeria does something, it's like, wow, the world has come to an end or something. So I just wish Nigerian, a Nigeria that's it's just gonna be free from all those sort of things. So that's all about this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. But I'm sure you're gonna like the video, so give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna see you in my next one.
All right.